Okay guys, welcome back, and let's see if we can get back into this one, shall we? Still need to get that good answer. Let's replay. Let's start it, shall we? Now, just to let you know guys, I have actually played this one already. I completed it, and the game recording got buggered basically. But I actually got it the next tried it anyway, so let's remember what I did. Since I realised it had failed recording about half hour after I'd started rendering them all. Probably a couple of days after I finished recording, but whatever. Let's try it. So first things first. You need to do that. I think that might be it. Damn it! Thank God I have his hat on me, otherwise... Ugh. The guard zipped his pants back up and left with Taro. As soon as I couldn't hear him, I pushed open the grate and pulled myself up to the ground. We were almost there. Hold on a second. Morgan unzipped his pants and started doing a thing without even turning away. Oh no, that was... Oh God. My heart jumped out my throat. I don't know how Carlos did it, but unfortunately everything stayed quiet to the window. Thank God. Morgan zipped his pants back up, brought him close to me and led him to a dark corner. This way Morgan would not notice there were two people climbing out a window. Besides, I had one last request before leaving. The photo you showed me earlier, can I see it again? He stared blankly at me. It took him a while to understand what I was referring to. But he put his hand inside his jacket, searched for a long time and pulled out a photo. From one of the photos wearing a leather jacket and a pair of jeans. She was walking out of a pharmacy about to put on her sunglasses. The brown face under her cap looked very cold. I was honestly very grateful to Morgan. It helped me a lot, including finding out the itinerary of my dear friend's last trip to Japan, who he had met and been with during a trip. That was how he found this woman. Figured she was just an assassin, and a personal housekeeper mentioned was had paid her. I swore not let either of them get away. You want more of me, don't you? If so, give me a kiss. That was good. Half a month ago, Carlos confessed to me that the reason he wanted to escape was to find his sister. He showed me a picture, so I could confirm she was the same person, and now I was 100% certain. Morgan grabbed my shoulders, the smell of alcohol and the odour was getting stronger. The odours making me sick. His tall body was leaning towards me, closer and closer. When he fell to the ground with a thud, so a dagger in his back. The blade was stuck deep into his body where his heart was. Pike crouched down and wiped the blood off his hands with Morgan's clothing, all having a disgusting expression in his face. Well, we shouldn't stay too long. Follow me. Carlos ran toward the storage room and recovered at the corner of the yard. He had some tools there. I looked at Morgan one last time before I followed. The photo was still stuck firmly in his hand. I didn't need it anymore. I would never forget that face. I held my breath, pushed back into the wall and grabbed the door lightly with my hands. As soon as he took one more step, I would... But the man stopped. I peeked through a crack of the door and saw a guard in front turning his back with an ask. Which one? It's New Bar on Bay Road. You haven't been there, have you? No, have you? Of course not. I heard it from Morgan. He said the girls there were super hot and... Well, that sounds like fun. Subject seemed to be sighted with twins a lot. Their footsteps continued again just outside the door. Only this time they were going further away from me. As we got out of Hong Kong Central Prison, the three of us all crammed into a car driven by a friend of Carlos's. We were driving on a road that usually didn't have any cops and talking about our plans. Carlos said he would stay in Hong Kong. He had told a long time ago he was only escaping to go look for his sister. Her Ty was still playing with his phone and said he was going to stay too. I thought about it for a while, but I finally decided to leave Hong Kong. If I had to guess, news of me breaking out of prison would soon be broadcast to the entire island. I can imagine all the lovely expressions of those evil people who thought they'd escaped my judgment when they heard the news of me going to prison. I had planted a seed of fear within them. They would no longer require extra care from me. The darkness inside humans' hearts would make sure it kept growing and blossoming. What I need to do is plant 10 more seeds all around the world. So get out of the car and someone in the port. My dear friends, farewell. The sound of a ship's horn booming between the clouds and the ocean, I climbed up onto a cargo ship that was about to set off on a voyage. Should be taking me to my next destination. I had hoped I would have more new and interesting encounters in a new exciting world. There we are. But we have no new messages. But that one still bugs me. So try that. Thought so. I learned the passcode in a stack of files in a safe. I flipped through them quickly, exactly what I've been looking for. I could find out where the lieutenant was being held. I heard someone walking in my direction. I quietly closed the safe, hid the files under my jacket and stuck into a bathroom. In the men's bathroom was a store that had a window to the outside. It wasn't too big, but it was enough for an adult like me to climb out. And the back door of the station was not far away from the outside window. So the station without being seen by anyone, just like that. According to the files, Lieutenant Kang was being held in detention at number 6. One of the special facilities is being used specifically to hold suspects of special interest. I hid the files on tall grass not too close. And I walked up the entrance, empty-handed. I should regard my ID and told him I'd like to see him. Kang back here? The guard checked the record. No visitations allowed. Check again, I'm a police officer. I have my ID to prove my ID. It doesn't matter, you need special permission. He shook his head and closed the book. I didn't leave immediately, I tried to think of another way to get in. My forehead started to sweat under a guard's suspicious stare. You want to see Kang back here? What's your name? A guard over 2 meters tall was standing behind me. I didn't even notice him there. It startled me when he suddenly spoke. I showed him my police ID and my name and unit. The tall guard gave me back my ID and nodded at the guard. And he said, "Follow me." As soon as I saw Lieutenant Kang sit down on the other side of a glass, I immediately picked up a phone on the wall. I had to take this chance to pretend and ask him to tell me anything. Lieutenant Kang had held up the phone in his mouth and mumbled something quietly. I could understand he might be feeling low. This was not the time. I came in to help him, but I couldn't hear him at all. What was that, Lieutenant? I can't hear you. Lieutenant Kang leant towards me and got close to the glass. Despite knowing his voice could only come through a phone, I couldn't help but lean forward too. And then he spoke. I was so shocked when I sprung back into my seat and almost dropped the phone. Didn't realise that the man sitting right in front of me was Officer Ji-Yun. I know what got that. It was actually Spotty's, because Spotty left the window open. So he dropped the documents through a window rather than being caught, which was nice.
¿Por qué me pasan este tipo de cosas?
So Carlos got a Yi.
Carlos, te extraño.
Carlos, let's go home.
내 탓이야. 바보같이.
Lead, Blue Lady.
이게 바로 나의
And
정의다.
this is my justice. Now I did this one first last time. Let's do that again. The wind was getting stronger when I left the detention centre. Everyone on the street was walking very fast. Held on tightly to a piece of paper. Earlier I'd written down a short note in a hurry. Blue Lady, Jago Wang Yum. But as a messenger, Officer Ji-Yun lent me. And expended if she would be one to be detained in place of Lieutenant Kang. Maybe Transfiguration was not as complicated as I thought. And again, where was Lieutenant Kang? I was hoping to see him. That plan hadn't worked either. And now it was the only lead I had. To go to Blue Lady, find a person named Jago Wang Yum. Blue Lady was an infamous gay bar. The police and gangs in particular was infamous because it was an establishment that belonged to the Bugnum gang. This Jago Wang Yum was a boss, leader of a seasonal group with a Bugnum gang. Kang and Wang Yum knew each other and probably had been friends. He once brought me here drinking, so I'd met Jago once. Bartender led me through a crowded dance floor. We went up to a small room, a narrow staircase. Getting quieter the further we went and walked past a few young men away. They were somewhat unfriendly looks. I suppose it wouldn't be too hard to tell the good guys apart from the bad. Never understood why Lieutenant Kang would have a friend in a gang. Would Jago Wang Yum really be able to help him? My second floor walked into a room that looked sort of like an office, but not quite. Wang Yong was still wearing his Hawaiian outfit. He was lying on a couch reading a book. And another couch around the room was some of his men playing Ghost Up. I briefly explained the reason for my visit, but I felt like I was only wasting my time. His eyes never left his book. Held in my anger, turned around and was about to leave. Diego Wan Yam finally put down his book and sat up on the couch. Kid, don't you ever get something? Knowing more of an information trade. If you want information, you need to trade me something. I took out a tail I had in my right palm and reached for a pocket on his shirt. Bit my lip and said, "Fine, how about this?" Handing my weapon, pulled out a small notepad from my pocket. It all the trivial information I collected. Most information was about the Munson gang. There's some about the Bugnam gang too. Nothing particularly important or classified, otherwise I've been carrying it on me like this. Since I mentioned trade, it must mean something like this, right? Suppose I wouldn't be able to buy it with money. He took my notepad, flipped through it quickly, and tossed it in the trash can. I made a gesture. The men had been watching us the entire time, surrounding me. They started to mercilessly beat me up. Wan Yam stood outside the circle and said, "Young man, you're not cut out to be a policeman. You're definitely not cut out to be a Bucky Arms man. If you dare show your face on my turf again, you'll be dead." Tossed me into a garbage. It felt so bad I couldn't move for a while. I was stupid at making such a careless move. Now, how does this one go? Because I had to solve this one as well. Was it this one? A beam of silver light flashed in the air. Blood was dripping over the wound and left some red dots on the floor. I got my entire left hand on one, right one, and dropped to the ground. It's yours. Fuck you. Not Dr. Chang, Dr. Wang. One who lives at the Gangyang Dung. Heard Jago Wan yelling his men, with his eyes just a little bit longer to take a peek at what was happening. He threw away his cigarette in his hand and carried me onto a couch. His men were in complete disarray after being cut shouted by their boss. I'd made a right call. This man was a true friend of Lieutenant Kang, must value loyalty and bravery. If he'd been cared about what profit and benefit, even if it seemed from my performance I would be at most get a beating. They can still give him what he wanted to trade for information. Nevertheless, it was the best result I could have hoped for. When I burst out laughing and back on the couch with a hand holding my stomach. When stubborn Jago Wan Yu looked on, stunned, and picked up a severed finger on the ground, my perfectly intact left hand smiling at him. But with fake fingers, it's a more shopper right here. Not only do they have fake fingers, they also fake ears and everything. The owner said if you own to make survive in a gang, these are all necessities. If they bought a whole set, you'd give me a discount. 5-finger discount? So I did, and I all hid them on me. It turned out they were indeed quite valuable. Bastard. Another couch laughing hysterically. Well, I guess Bakia had prepared you wrong completely. You told me you were just a serious, boring fool. I was meant to make us some tea. Began to tell me everything he knew. 2 hours later, I drank my last cup of tea and left Blue Lady. I started walking to our officer Min Jun's home in a cold, biting wind. Yay! Got a new letter?
부처님, 나도 좀 도와줘요.
Another one for Chang Yon Min. Let's do that one, shall we, next time? Until then, thanks for watching. Make sure it's recording. Bye bye.